Thanks for coming. My name is Raymond Pacey. I'm the principal of Yorktown. And on behalf of all the students here at our school, all of us who work here, I want to welcome you to our school this afternoon. One thing I've always been very proud of about Yorktown is the diversity at the school. And while we don't have the exact numbers, at least I don't, we know we have many students here from many different ethnic backgrounds who face challenges for a variety of reasons, including some as a result of their immigration status. Usually we do not know, we don't know the extra hardships and challenges these students face. But we want every student here, every young person here, I know I speak for everybody at any of the schools in Arlington, I know there are some here not from Yorktown, but whatever the challenge you face, we want to help. We really do. We appreciate the efforts of the Yorktown students who have helped organize today's event. Hannah Halleck-Pinkleton, Alex Wilson, Miriam Khan, and Eduardo Alvaron. I also want to say a special word of thanks to Mr. Pareto, our Health Resource Assistant, and Sherry Benitez, our tremendous Minority Achievement Coordinator and Director for the Center of Leadership and Service at Yorktown. Finally, I want to also again thank all of you who gave your time to be with us today. Now it's a pleasure for me to introduce the chair of the Arlington School Board, Emma Violen-Sanchez. Some of you younger folks here may not know that Ms. Violen-Sanchez was the director of Arlington Public Schools' HILT program for many years before she retired, and then ran for office for the school board, which she has been on for several years now, and now is the chair. I have had the privilege of working with her and know the passion and enthusiasm she brings to what I was just talking about before, making sure that every young person gets help, whatever the reason, whatever the cause. So it's a pleasure, Emma, to introduce you.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. This is an opportunity that we have today to talk, to hear from fellow students, to share, because they will share their stories. And we in the Arlington Public Schools are proud of them. And as a school board member, I also want to thank principal at Yorktown, Dr. Pacey, who we both believe in emotional intelligence, right? And to other members of the DREAM Project. But I also have a pleasure to introduce to you another board member, who is a newly elected board member from Arlington Public Schools, Mr. Noah Simon. Thank you very much for coming, because that way you will be another ally. Because one of the things about when we talk about the DREAM Project, I am fortunate to have had the opportunity to meet many of our dreamers, we call them dreamers, and to fund an organization called the DREAM Project. You may want to get that. And Mrs. Sherry Benitez is one of our members of the board, and we also have here Ms. Carmel Armando Kane, who is a parent at Yorktown, and we have also our executive intern, Lisette Arias, who also graduated from Arlington Public Schools, and now she also graduated from Arlington College. And we have other alumni. So all the alumni from Arlington Public Schools, could you raise your hand? So many of these students are coming back to share with you, to connect with you. Now, let me just say that for me, the dreamers are the students, the young people that inspire me, because against all odds, they persevere, they face adversity, and in the face of this adversity, they continue to excel academically, and they have a commitment to community service. And I believe that we in Arlington are fortunate to be able to connect with students and to share with them and to build relationships, because it is our goal of the DREAM Project that these DREAM scholars continue to go to the university, excel, and then they come back and they contribute to their community. And thank you very much. I don't want to say too many words because I think that you want to hear from the students. And it is a pleasure for me to introduce to you one of our first Dream Scholars and high achievers and commitment, and somebody who is committed to community service and leadership. Antonella Rodriguez Cosio graduated from Washington, and now she's at Northern Virginia Community College planning to transfer to a four-year university.
College was never a question. It was a fact. It wasn't whether I would attend college. It was I would attend college. But where would I attend? My parents have raised me, embedding in me the fundamentals of life, love, perseverance, and education. That one goes to elementary school, high school, and then college. That you graduate, get a job, and form a family. So college was never a question. But I remember. I remember the first time it hit me. The first time I realized that fact had now become a question. It was my sophomore year in high school, and so far I was up in my game. I had been getting good grades throughout school. I had completed a massive amount of community service hours. I was involved in school clubs, the swim team, the soccer team, all in the hopes that I was doing the right thing, that I was doing what I was supposed to do as a student. And I was. That is, if I was any other student with sus papeles, their papers. I had gone to college trips and college orientations before my sophomore year. You know, the ones that tell you what it is that you needed to do to go to college, the ones that told you to get good grades and be a good citizen, the ones that told me to do exactly everything I was doing. But this college orientation was different. At this point, they weren't just talking about the good grades or what activities you should be doing. This orientation started presenting to us the types of documentations we needed to apply to college. The prizes, in-state, out-of-state financial aid, loans, grants, scholarships, it's all crazy talk. I was completely disoriented and confused. Before that day, I had never heard of any of those things. It was all so bizarre. I didn't know the colleges all had different prizes. If I was in-state or out-of-state, that there was public or private. And what in the world was a social security number? But I knew. It was that thing again. That thing that my parents had told me about. That thing that they told me that made me different. I knew growing up that I was withheld of certain privileges. And that I would be unable to obtain certain privileges. That I was unable to travel outside of the States to visit my other family. That I wouldn't be able to work or ever receive my license. I knew those things. And at that age, they weren't much of a burden. But to discover that because of the same reason, college became more of a dream, a question, instead of a certainty, well, that was heartbreaking. I wanted to raise my hand and ask, what if I don't have a social security number? Can I still go to college? What if my parents still have a social security number? Can I get financial aid? Do you have to have a social security number? But I didn't ask, because everyone else seemed to have it, because everyone else seemed to know what it was. At 15, I was heartbroken, not because of a boy, or because I didn't get the Uggs I wanted, but because all of a sudden, the one thing that I seemed to be good at just got taken away. Because the one thing that I was looking forward to seemed as if I could never achieve. As if my whole future had shattered right in front of me. College was no longer a certainty. It almost seemed unobtainable. And even if I could find a college that would take me, how in the world was I ever to afford such a thing? I couldn't get financial aid. I couldn't take on any loans. And I certainly couldn't work. I can't work to go to college. And if I don't go to college, I can't work. 15, and it seemed as my educational career had already ended. I felt like I was on my own with no one to help me. My parents didn't know how to help me. I had known no one at personal level that had gone to college in the US. So soon, anger took over. I was mad at my parents, the school, this country. I was mad at myself for not being good enough. After that, an overwhelming amount of depression consumed my everyday life. I didn't see the point of doing great in school. I did just enough to be satisfactory, but not enough to be excellent. I would cry at night and stop talking to my parents. But right when things seemed to be there at their worst, I found help. I couldn't ask the counselors about applying to college. They had all asked for my social security number. I couldn't talk to my friends about it. I wouldn't know where to start or what they would say. But there was this one small room in the back of the hallway on the second floor where all the Hill classes were located, where I was able to find hope. That room was occupied by the school's Hispanic liaison, whose job was not college counseling, yet alone dealing with undocumented youth. But from everyone in the school, this one kind individual made me feel welcome and secure, not only my culture, but also my immigrational status. And it was with that one individual where my search began. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Miriam, and I'm a senior here at Yorktown. Imagine living in America for almost all your life, but not being acknowledged as an American. There are approximately 65,000 kids who face this ordeal. They're given the label of illegal immigrants. The only illegal thing they have done is try to live the American dream just like everyone else. Each year, 3 million students graduate from high school and have the privilege to go to college and fulfill their dreams. However, students who are out of status are often working 2 to 3 low-paying jobs to get through their local community college. When you're out of status, the state will not provide you financial aid. Even though by law, these undocumented students aren't prohibited to go to college, they have to pay at international rates, which is triple the amount of money an in-state student would pay. This is above and beyond what they can afford. But the Development, Relief, and Education for Alien Minors Act, otherwise known as the DREAM Act, hopes to find a solution to this injustice. The DREAM Act was first proposed in 2001 by Senator Orrin Hatch and Senator Dick Durbin. The DREAM Act hopes to provide permanent residency to out-of-status minors who have proof of arriving in the U.S. before 16, have proof of residence in the U.S. for at least five consecutive years since their date of arrival, if male, have registered in the selective services, have graduated from an American high school, obtained a GED, or been admitted to a higher institution of education. If they meet all these requirements, they will have to complete 2 years in the military or 2 years at a 4-year university before they receive temporary residency for 6 years. If they complete these 6 years in good standing, they will be provided with permanent residency and eventually one day American citizenship. The DREAM Act has been brought up in Congress numerous of times, but has been shot down repeatedly. People who oppose this bill believe that it's rewarding illegal immigrants. They also believe that this will give leeway for more illegal immigration and protect gang members from deportation. Opposers of this bill also believe that this will encourage more illegal immigration because people may want to come here legally so they can get all these benefits. One thing to keep in mind is that receiving permanent residency through the DREAM Act will be a lengthy process. Beneficiaries of this bill will go through rigorous criminal background checks. Also keep in mind that people who will be beneficiaries of this bill will have worked hard to achieve their permanent residency. Just because they are out of status does not mean they're automatically going to become permanent residents. They will have to work hard throughout high school and their adult lives, and with the DREAM Act, their hard work will be rewarded. Giving undocumented students a chance at education and a better life will improve not only their lives, but will help America too. If the DREAM Act were passed, it would allow legalized immigrants to invest in the U.S. economy. They would invest in the U.S. economy by earning more money because of their college degree.